Getting ready to start up our game against the Anaheim Junior Ducks. We're going to start out with Paulo, Reynolds, Palauskas, Aldridge, and Chris Gintis. A little bit better of an angle today. We do have these metal stanchions holding the glass in, so there's a little bit of a viewing issue, but I'll do my best to call it out. Paul takes the draw, stuck in feet. Anaheim does jump the puck and get a shot on Dabrowski, and that for this matchup today. The shot goes high and wide over to the side corner. Anaheim puck across to the near board, taking it down low. Reynolds and Paulo with Chris Gintis. Anaheim keeps it in, blocked by Reynolds. Puck bounces off of the boards over to Palauskas. Moving ahead for Paulo. Paulo taking it on the left side, trying to get through two. Gets stood up, and Anaheim takes the puck back. Good stick lift by Palauskas. Puck gets moved over by Anaheim to the right side and dumped in. Michi. All right, looks like we're going to get Palauskas on a hook right away. So we're going to go on the kill, 16-14 to go in the first. Michi and Letcher out to kill with Miller and Onak. Anaheim wins that puck back to their view. Good stick by Onak, forcing Anaheim to dump it to the corner. Michi gets there and throws that puck all the way down. Slowed down by Anaheim goaltender, put behind the net. They're going to set up. Letcher forward to give some pressure. Anaheim coming 5 across, throws the puck in, goes into the corner. Onak pins his man but stumbles a little bit. Puck still in the corner. Centering pass misses. Good job by Letcher to get that stick in the passing lane. Michi coming with some pressure, forcing Anaheim to come out from behind the net. They go far side and through the neutral zone, coming around, trying to get past Letcher and Onak. Couldn't, and they throw the puck in. Miller gloves it down and gets it up to Letcher. Letcher slows down and then dumps it in. Krzyzkowski comes out, and Bergeron, Campbell, and Rybicki at D. 1 minute remaining in the power play for Anaheim. Bergeron and Krzyzkowski waiting for Anaheim to move their puck. They send it wide, try to get past Rybicki, goes behind the net. Campbell harassing. Puck goes cross ice. Krzyzkowski is there, back to the point. Blocked in front by Rybicki over to the corner. Anaheim pushes that puck to the net, and Campbell sends it around. 32 seconds to go. Puck goes back behind the Anaheim goal. Puck in the corner. Anaheim digs it out. Brings it back behind the net. Good stick by Campbell. Pins his man. Puck underneath. They're trying to move it. Gets put into the corner. That'll be the end of the penalty here in 6 seconds. Good stick to Krzyzkowski. Rybicki puts that puck up. Palauskas comes out. Carter comes on. Carter picks that puck up, gets a shot. It goes off of the blocker. Anaheim trying to ice, kept in by Aldridge. Aldridge and Gintis on the ice now. We go for a change. Kruger comes on. Good hit by Bergeron. Puck goes into the middle of the ice. Gintis knocks that puck away. Anaheim coming in on the side, centering pass. Aldridge gets a stick on it. Carter picks that puck up. Bergeron changes. Brown comes on. Carter makes the move. Puck goes into the corner. Kruger and Aldridge trying to get the puck out of the corner. Brown sitting high. Carter kicking the puck over to Kruger. Keeps getting pushed back under him. Finally pops out over the sideboard. Pass into the middle of the ice by Anaheim. Gets between Brown's legs, and they enter the zone on the left. Cross ice pass misses. Bounces off the boards in the corner. Carter, big hit. puck low. Aldridge battling. Gintis knocks that away. It goes back behind Dabrowski. Anaheim centering, gets a shot. It goes off of the pad over to the sideboard. Brown pushes to the corner. Gintis comes over to help. Puck slides on Dabrowski, and he covers. 12:56 to go in the first. Still 0-0. Kolauskas, Reynolds, and Paulo are going to come on. Miller and Onak at D. Paulo pushes that puck over towards Miller. Kolauskas picks it up and tries to enter wide. It gets knocked into the middle of the ice. Anaheim sends it back to the neutral zone. Miller regroups with Onak. Onak across for Paulo. Paulo carries in. He's got Kolauskas in front. Reynolds sitting, has a shot go wide. Onak sidesteps one of the Ducks and goes deep. Puck bounces off of Kolauskas over to Paulo. Paulo tries to get a shot. It's blocked. Anaheim comes back with two. Reynolds is back. Paulo racing back. Gets a stick on and puts the puck over to the corner. Paulo gets a hit. Puck goes behind the net. Miller tries to go for Reynolds and misses. No icing called. Puck back behind the net over to the near board. Bounces off of the glass. And Anaheim carries in and pushes it down low. Rubicki and Campbell are out at D. Reynolds takes it from the corner, goes cross for Campbell. Campbell across center ice and in. Nietzsche and Chalicki are out, and Letcher has come out. Puck bouncing, goes into neutral ice. Good hit by Campbell, knocks the puck away. Chalicki, slap shot, gets blocked and goes behind the net. Letcher gets it over to Chalicki, who tries to center. It hits off of a Ducks player and goes in between both D. Campbell with a pass. Chalicki's off sides as it got blocked. Didn't quite get in the zone as fast. Anaheim sends it back in, goes for a change. Rubicki and Letcher and Nietzsche trying to work that puck out. Letcher takes a cross check. Still battling, does get it out. Anaheim goes cross ice, it bounces off of a stick. Chalicki has it, gets a shot. Glove save, another shot by Nietzsche. Another save by Anaheim. Puck over to the sideboard. Letcher digs it out, goes cross for Chalicki. Chalicki tries to go underneath, saved by Anaheim. Krzyzkowski comes on. The Ducks try to chip that forward. Krzyzkowski gets it around to Letcher. Letcher chips forward. And we're offsides. 10:29 to go. Two really good chances by that shift. Both knocked away by the goaltender. Credidio comes on with Krzyzkowski and Bergeron. Aldridge and Gintis are deep. Anaheim pushes that puck behind them to go D to D and go back to the right side. Krzyzkowski gets a stick on and puts that puck off of the boards. Anaheim gathers and comes in. Gintis takes a stumble and they get a quick shot. Dabrowski gloves it, no rebound, and we'll do a face-off. Puck drop, Anaheim pushes it back and then takes it off the boards. Shot in the slot off of the pad of Dabrowski. Good save, Dabrowski. Puck to the corner. Gintis gets it to Bergeron. Bergeron cross for Krzyzkowski. Krzyzkowski's going to enter in the middle. Drops over to Credidio. Credidio quick in front, hits off of Krzyzkowski, and then onto the back board. Bergeron and Krzyzkowski working on the board. Puck in the corner. Bergeron still battling. Takes a hit. Krzyzkowski trying to dig that puck out. Puts it back to Bergeron. Bergeron back to Krzyzkowski. Credidio quick shot off of the goaltender and in front. Anaheim clears. Gintis pins it to the board. Gintis gets it to Kushkowski and then tries to get it up for Bergeron. It ramps off a stick and out of play. Kruger, Carter, and Brown come out with Onak and Miller. Puck is won back to Miller. Hard off of the glass for Brown. Brown racing to get there, gets interfered with. Still gets to the corner, however. Puck goes behind. Kruger coming in hard. Onak keeps that in. Over to Brown. Brown, quick shot. It's loose. Kruger gets a swipe at it, but covered. Same personnel. 9:06 to go. Kruger to take the face off. A little pushing and shoving after that one. Kruger with a quick swipe. Anaheim didn't like it. Anaheim puts it back behind. Kruger comes in. Puck goes wide. They wave icing. Onak must have been close enough to touch it. Puck dropped down below for Miller. Anaheim ties it up. Onak good tie up. Puck over to Carter. Carter tries to chip off of the boards. It gets stuck in some feet. Onak gets a stick on it. Over to Miller. Miller to Brown. Brown takes a hit but gets the pass to Carter. Puck back into the corner. Carter, big hit. Puck goes behind. Brown comes over to help get the stick on it. Carter gets in front of a puck. Anaheim trying to get it through. Hits off of Kruger and back in. Dabrowski to Campbell. Campbell to Brown. Brown, good board battle, gets the puck won and over to Carter. Carter bounces off of a stick. Brown changes. Reynolds comes on. Carter still battling. Gets the puck in the zone. Kruger now. Puck is in feet. He's tied up. Anaheim takes it behind their own goaltender and comes out on the right side. Pulaskis gets come out. Kruger trying to get back. Anaheim gets a shot. Dabrowski pad save. Kruger gets that puck over to Campbell. Campbell cross ice for Rubicki. Rubicki gets that in the zone. Kruger changes and Paulo comes on. 7:38 to go in the first. Anaheim sends it down. It's going on Dabrowski. Dabrowski plays it. Leaves it for Paulo. Paulo on the near board. Avoids one hit. Knocks that puck away and puts it back in. Takes a big hit after. Goaltender plays it to the side. Pulaskis comes in. Anaheim behind the net. Puts it over to the far board. Paulo puts it back into the corner. Anaheim reverses course. Comes up the near boards. Chips ahead. Rubicki gets to it. Reynolds is going to go. Reynolds is going to go for interference at 7:06. We'll go back on the kill. Letcher and Nietzsche is going to come out. Letcher to take this face off. Anaheim pushes that puck back, puts it in the middle, tip, bouncing. Dabrowski gets it in his glove, and we'll get another face-off. Anaheim wins another one back, but too far for the D to reach it. It's going to go all the way back on their goaltender. Anaheim's going to step back up. They're going to come back out 5 across. Over to the right side again and enter. Up to the blue line, tipped in front, it goes wide. Back up to the far board and cross one time. That would have been a really good shot if you'd gotten all of it. It went off the side of the net. Letcher battling that out, gets interfered with, and that's going to be a penalty. So Letcher chips past and kind of gets picked up in the air. So we're going to go back to 4-on-4 here for a minute 16, and then we'll have a power play. Paulo and Krzyzkowski come out 4-on-4 with Miller and Onat. Face off, pushed behind by Anaheim. They put it behind the net. Paulo giving pressure. Anaheim goes back again to the far board, and then through the middle of the ice, they chip it over. Paulo gets there. Anaheim carries it down, tries to get past Miller, does center one. 2 saves by Dabrowski, but the net comes off. Polauskas and Chalicki are going to come out. Miller and Onak remain. They face off outside the zone. Anaheim controls it, sends it in. Onak swings it around for Miller. Miller, with some space, gets it to Polauskas. Polauskas carries in. Anaheim working off of the boards, coming on the near side, trying to get a pass off. Miller deflects it. Onak to Chalicki. It goes back in the zone. D2D for Anaheim. Polauskas gave some pressure. Puck bounces past Onak, and a shot beats Dabrowski, and it is 1-0 Anaheim. So 15 seconds to go on the 4-on-4. It's 1-0 Anaheim. Nietzsche, Letcher, Paulo, and Campbell come out. They're going to be the start of the power play. I think Reynolds will join once he comes out of the box. Puck comes over to Campbell. Campbell to Letcher. Letcher back to Campbell. Penalty is expired. Reynolds comes out. Campbell to Reynolds. Reynolds avoids a stick tap and brings the puck in. Puck knocked away, hits off of a stanchion. Paulo gathers it in the neutral zone and sends it back to Campbell. Campbell to Nietzsche, chipped ahead for Reynolds, knocked away by Anaheim. Campbell goes back to get it. 15 seconds remaining on the power play. Puck behind the net. Letcher comes out, gets it over to Nietzsche. Nietzsche. Cross for Reynolds, hits off of an Anaheim player. 4 seconds remaining on the power play. Reynolds to Campbell one time, slapper. Nietzsche tries to put it on. Puck bounces to Campbell, or to Reynolds, and then off of the stick. Paulo sends it down for Letcher. Puck cleared to the neutral zone. Anaheim picks it up. Paulo puts a body on. He gets that puck knocked away. Letcher sends that puck low for Reynolds. Reynolds to Campbell. Campbell sending it wide for Letcher off of the glass, and that'll be icing. 3:48 to go in the first. Krzyzkowski, Credidio, and Bergeron are going to come on. Brzgintis and Aldridge at deep. Krzyzkowski to take this face off, pushes it back for Brzgintis. Brzgintis hard around for Bergeron. Bergeron ties up, puck gets passed. Credidio racing for it, digs it off of the boards, gets it to Krzyzkowski. Krzyzkowski shot, saved by Anaheim and over to the far board. Krzyzkowski knocks the puck away. Anaheim picks it up, Good stick. Krzyzkowski. Puck bounces to the boards. Porzingis and Bergeron trying to get it out. It gets passed and put back in on Dabrowski. Credidio working from behind. Goes across for Berge. Berge chips it forward. Krzyzkowski comes in on the forecheck. Puck over the sideboard and back to the corner. Bergeron gets a stick on it. Porzingis keeps it in. Shot goes wide and around. Aldridge goes to play it. Anaheim beats him and gets into the middle. Shot and rebound control by Dabrowski. We'll get another line change here with Onak and Miller. Kruger, Brown, and Carter come out. Kruger wins the faceoff back. Up for Miller to Carter. Carter gets the puck through. Brownie's got the puck knocked over and behind the net. Gets pushed into the corner. Puck below him. He still got it. Pushes it to Kruger. Kruger trying to get that puck through. It's still loose. And then covered by the goaltender. Kruger taken down in front. Puck was a little bit loose. Goaltender had to roll the cover. 2:38 to go in the first. Same personnel here. Kruger to take the draw. Faceoff pushed over towards Carter. Onak comes down to help. Gets knocked over to the sideboard. Kruger pins him. Puck thrown high and down. Not far enough for icing. Onak gets that puck over to Miller. Up to Brown. Brown to Kruger. Knocked away. Brown gets it to Carter. Carter brings the puck in. Gets it to Onak. Carter keeps that puck in. Kruger battling on the sideboard. Puts it off of the goaltender. Brown tries to center that. Nobody there. And Anaheim goes the other way. Gets past Miller. Good stick, Carter. Miller gets it over to Brown. Brown getting some space. Tries to split a couple. Puck gets taken away. Pulaskis on a change. Comes out. Comes up the near board. Reynolds comes on for Brown. Slowed down by the goaltender and left behind for the D. Clearing attempt gets past Campbell. No icing. Dabrowski plays that forward. It goes to Reynolds. Reynolds chips to Paulo. Paulo. Puck gets taken away by Anaheim. Flipped forward. Hits off of Reynolds' skate, but Anaheim still clears. Centering off of Dabrowski's stick over to the far board for Pulaskis. Pulaskis tries to chip one over for Paulo, and Anaheim takes it back. Anaheim back in on the near board. Campbell flips it forward. Paulo tries to get it out of the zone, kept in, and now cleared by Reynolds. Puck hits off of a glove and knocked down. Anaheim sends it into the opposite corner. They've got a forechecker in already. Rubicki gets a hit on. Puck goes over the opposite corner for Campbell. Campbell leaves it for Paulo. Paulo up to Reynolds. Just misses. Anaheim gets it back and throws it deep. Goes for a change. Rubicki behind Dabrowski. Didn't recognize the change, but Reynolds does get that puck and flips it in, and we go for a change. Rubicki gets it over to Reynolds. Reynolds taps it in, and we got 21 seconds to go. Letcher, Chalicki, and Nietzsche are on good stick. Letcher, puck over to the near board for Anaheim. They try to center through the neutral zone. Gets tied up, and they chip around. Another centering pass knocked away by Aldridge. Cross ice for Porzingis goes behind Chalicki, and that'll be an icing. 4.7 seconds to go in the first. Nietzsche takes the draw, knocks down below him. Prisgintis tries to get it cleared. Anaheim puts it down low, and that is the end of the first. Whoa. We're going to start the second period with Chalicki, Nietzsche, and Letcher. Prisgintis and Aldridge at D. Anaheim wins that faceoff, sends it back to D to D. Puck across, bounces off of Chalicki's stick. Aldridge puts it up the boards for Chalicki. Chalicki looking for somewhere to go, throws it up the boards. Anaheim gets a shot, but it's blocked in front. Puck back to the corner. Aldridge ties up. Nietzsche over to help. Anaheim gets one pass. It gets blocked in front. Aldridge back up the boards to Chalicki. Chalicki cross ice for Letcher. Letcher puts forward for Prisgintis. Prisgintis, with that long stick, gets it past, tries to center. It goes off of the goaltender, and Anaheim flips it into neutral ice. Miller up for Prisgintis, chips in. Pulauskas goes. Pulauskas in the corner, gets the puck over to the opposite side where Letcher is. Letcher centers for Pulauskas, sticked away by Anaheim's D. Puck comes out, and that's going to be icing. 15:51 to go. Paulo, Reynolds, Pulauskas come out. Miller and Onak at D. Face off, one over to Reynolds, up to Miller. Miller back for Reynolds. Reynolds takes a shot, hits off of the helmet of a Ducks player. Paulo digs it out. Paulo to Reynolds. Reynolds to Pulauskas. Pulauskas' shot goes wide of the net. Paulo working in the corner. Gets it out. Now it's stuck on the sideboards. Pulauskas, I don't know who flipped that up. Miller. That's it. Takes a cross check. That'll be a penalty. We're going to go on the power play for a cross check. We're going to bring out Carter, Krzyzkowski, Chalicki, Campbell, and Pulauskas. Face off, one back by Krzyzkowski to Campbell. Campbell across for Chalicki. Chalicki back to Campbell. Campbell takes a shot. Blocker save by Anaheim over to Chalicki. Chalicki on the near board. Takes it down. Cross for the back door to Pulauskas, misses, and Anaheim clears. Campbell over to Chilicki. Chilicki carries in and brings it around for Kuszkowski. Puck bounces off of the boards weird. Anaheim gets to it and clears. Minute 24 to go in the power play. Dabrowski slows it down for Campbell and he goes behind the net. Campbell to Kuszkowski. Kuszkowski carries forward, gets it over to Carter. Carter to Chilicki. Chilicki to Campbell. Chilicki back to Campbell. Working down the board. Chilicki takes a shot, bounces off of the glass. Campbell and Pulauskas racing to get there. Campbell chips it down for Carter. Carter forward for Kuszkowski, over to Campbell. Campbell backhands it around for Carter. Carter bounces off of the boards weird. Pulauskas knocks it in. Carter tries to get a hit, falls a little bit awkwardly into the boards, but he's all right. Paulo's on now. So Paulo, Reynolds, and Campbell. Slap shot blocked by Anaheim. Campbell gets it back, puts it down low. Carter and Kuszkowski working in the corner. Puck comes out from behind the net. Paulo and Carter working on it. Anaheim pinning it. 15 seconds to go. Carter in front, gets a shot. Puck is still loose. Paulo with an opportunity, bounces off his stick just a little bit. Walks it over to Onak. Onak takes a quick shot and glove save. So Brown, Kruger, and Bergeron are going to come on. Onak and Miller at D. 13-16 to go in the second. 1-0. Puck is in feet, gets pushed over to the boards. Good job, Bergeron knocks it low. Puck in the corner. Anaheim gets it over to the sideboard. Brownie gets there, gloves it down, kicks it to Burge. Burge with some space, gets a shot. Gloves or blocker, no, stick save. Sorry. Went through all of them. Onak, good stick. Sends that puck back down. Bergeron hard on the forecheck behind the net. Puck comes up to Brown on the boards. He puts it down low for Bergeron, but it gets deflected. Anaheim gets it out of the zone. Good stick. Kruger. Brownie gloves it down again. We're going to go with the offsides here. Chilicki, Nietzsche, Letcher with Onak and Miller. 12:37 to go. Puck one back to Miller, bounces past him. Takes a look, sets it up to Chilicki. Chilicki puts it forward for Nietzsche. Nietzsche's got Letcher. Letcher back to Nietzsche, gets blocked. Puck low, Letcher puts it to Chilicki. Chilicki on his backhand has to get it to Onak. Onak's shot is blocked. Chilicki gets it back to Onak, but it goes through its skates. Onak regroups with Miller. Miller to Nietzsche, goes back in the zone. Anaheim working around, gets the puck up the near boards, and then chips deep. Onak back to Miller. Miller gets it to Letcher. Letcher moves aside to Onak. It's intercepted, but then pushed forward and back into Anaheim. Nietzsche gets that puck back into the zone. Puck goes across. Aldridge came on a change, puts it forward for Letcher. Anaheim gets to it first and puts it back in the zone. Miller for Reynolds. Over to Nietzsche, that's going to miss. That'll be an icing. Pulauskas and Paulo are going to join Reynolds. Still 1-0 Anaheim. Somewhere around 8:30, we'll get an ice cut. face-off. Puck knocked over to Pulauskas. Pulauskas streaking down the sideboards, gets past one, but puck gets knocked into the backboards. He tries to pass it to Prisgintis. Anaheim brings it back out. Anaheim entering on the right side, tries to get a pass across. Aldridge gets a stick on it. Shot high and over the net, goes to the opposite board. Puck in front. Prisgintis gets a stick on it. Anaheim picks it up, gets a shot off of Dabrowski's blocker, bounces to Reynolds. Reynolds through neutral ice, steps on the puck and takes a stumble. Puck kept in by Campbell. Anaheim sends it around. Aldridge picks it up. Back to Paulo. Paulo to Campbell. Cross ice for Pulauskas. It bounces off the boards and goes to Reynolds. Reynolds, puck protection. I think he meant to drop pass it to Paulo. It's taken away. Anaheim almost with a breakaway. Rybicki gets in front of it, slows it down. Reynolds to Predidio. Predidio misses, goes over to the near board. Predidio takes a big hit. Anaheim takes it back. Krzyzkowski comes on the ice. Bergeron's on the ice. Puck chipped over. Campbell battling, gets it out. Bergeron working on the boards. Good job, Berge. Gets that puck. It gets thrown back into our zone after he kicks it out of the scrum. We reset back up to Campbell. Campbell gets it up the boards for Predidio. Predidio chips forward for Bergeron. Krzyzkowski comes over to help. Gets back into Anaheim's zone. Predidio on the forecheck. Puck hard around for Anaheim. And across. Campbell steps into that. Chips it forward. Predidio to the corner. Anaheim puts the puck opposite side and chips it up the boards. Rybicki working. Puck gets a good job by Rybicki to recognize the trailer. Gets a stick on that pass. 9:09 to go. Rybicki working off of the sideboard and steps in front and gets that puck back. Bergeron for Predidio. Onak comes on with Miller. Krzyzkowski centering for Bergeron. It's down low. Anaheim takes it away, goes up the sideboard into the middle of the neutral zone and sends it in to go for a change. Carter comes on. Goal. Shot on. Dabrowski hits off his pad, goes opposite side, now working from behind. Miller pinning his man. Puck underneath Miller. They're trying to move it. Comes loose to Predidio. Predidio looks to chip it forward, stuck by Anaheim back onto the board. Onak picks it up. Cross ice, gets deflected. Good stick by Carter. Puck gets stuck on the boards. Kruger finally gets out on the ice. Brown gets on the ice. They needed that change. Brown in neutral ice, protecting. Chips forward for Kruger, bounces off of Kruger's skate. Anaheim back in the zone. Puck over to the corner where Miller is. Miller in the corner over to Carter. Carter trying to get that puck to stop rolling. Does get it out of the zone. Carter battling, couldn't get past the last Anaheim player. And they're going to go for a hook. So ice cut, and we'll be on the power play on the way back. And we're back with the second part of the second period. Reynolds takes it behind Dabrowski to set up our breakout. We are on the power play. Coming back in. Reynolds back to Paulo, enters. Paulo and Nietzsche by the net with Priskintis. Priskintis comes in to cover that puck. Nietzsche gets it to Onak. Onak to Reynolds. Reynolds. Cross ice for Paulo. Bounces off of the boards. Priskintis picks that up. Priskintis tries to center it. It goes all the way down to Dabrowski. Puts it into the corner and up for Onak. Onak sidesteps one. Tries to get past another. Anaheim sends it into neutral ice and it rolls into our defensive zone. Reynolds picks it up. Minute to go on the power play, 6:35 to go in the second. Reynolds takes a big hit. That looked like it hurt him. Letcher and Pulauskas come on. Campbell regroups. Anaheim tries to get in. Letcher, good tie up, make sure that they don't get a shot on. Pulauskas coming up through the neutral zone. Kushkowski comes on. Chalicki over to Kushkowski. Kicks it to Letcher. Letcher down for Chalicki. Chalicki has to get around the official. Gets the puck to Kushkowski. Kushkowski to Letcher. Letcher's shot bounces off of the goaltender into the corner. Chalicki goes over there. Anaheim clears it up to Letcher. Penalty is over. Letcher across for Campbell. Campbell's got a lane, takes a shot into the glove of Anaheim. And we'll get a line change. Kruger, Carter, and Brown come on the ice. Rubicki and Campbell at D. Kruger wins that puck forward, then tries to get it across for Carter. Anaheim over through the neutral zone, brings it in and goes to the backboard. Campbell is there, knocks the puck away and over for Kruger. Kruger to Carter. Bounces away from Carter. Anaheim back the other way. They've got three in. Rubicki gets a stick on it, and then it's cleared by Kruger. Campbell to Brown. Brown got one to beat. He does. Tries to get a shot off. Gets a backhand. Puck still in front, covered by Anaheim. We'll get a change. Kushkowski, Credidio, and Bergeron are going to come on. Aldridge and Priskintis at D. Kushkowski pushes that puck to the sideboard for Credidio. Credidio up for Priskintis. He has to avoid some contact and does. I'm always amazed by Priskintis' stick work on the one hand. He's got such a long reach, it's hard for defenders to get to it. Aldridge over to Priskintis, up for Kushkowski, chips it in, goes on net, and the goaltender holds it. They keep the same personnel. Anaheim gets a late change. 4:29 to go in the second. Kushkowski takes the faceoff. Anaheim wins it back to the corner. Credidio giving some pressure. Bergeron comes in to help. Off the sideboard and into neutral ice by Anaheim. Aldridge, good stick, lifts it up. Priskintis working to get the puck out. Anaheim keeps it in. Aldridge ties up his man. Kushkowski over to help. Credidio working on the boards. Puck comes up to Anaheim's D. Kept in by Anaheim and down the board. Shot over the net and around. Puck into the corner. Credidio and Bergeron collide. Anaheim goes cross ice and through the neutral zone. Good job by Miller to get in front. Aldridge with a good stick puts that puck behind in the corner for Kushkowski. Miller protecting the puck, pushes it to Aldridge. Aldridge gets tied up, chips it to Reynolds, who's come on a change for Bergeron. Reynolds up for Credidio just a little too far. Kushkowski carries in, drops for Reynolds. Reynolds circles, shot in front and gloved by the goaltender. No rebound. Paulo and Palauskas are going to join Reynolds, Onak, and Miller at D. 3:15 to go in the second period. Still 1-0 Anaheim. Face off one to the corner by Anaheim. Sidestep Palauskas and up to the far board. Chipped behind Onak. Miller goes into the corner. Puck up to Anaheim's D. They take it back to the board and down. Reynolds giving pressure. Cross ice pass and a shot in front. Hits off of Miller and bounces wide. Onak gets that puck up to Reynolds. Reynolds tries to backhand it over to Palauskas. He gets slowed up in the neutral zone and then brought back in. Reynolds, good tie up. Palauskas tries to spin into the zone. Anaheim clears it off of the glass into neutral ice. Miller gets a hip check in. Paulo battling, trying to lift the stick. Does. The puck gets over to Palauskas. Palauskas takes a hit, goes into the boards. Onak has Chilicki. Chilicki backhand. Still loose behind the net. It chips forward. Chilicki tried to get a backhand shot off. He had an opportunity. Onak works behind Dabrowski. Anaheim lost their stick. Palauskas gets that up to Nietzsche. Palauskas changes. Letcher comes on. D change. Campbell and Rybicki come out. Good stick. Chilicki knocks that away. Puck's still rolling. The ice hasn't been particularly great. Puck chipped over to Chilicki and then back into the zone. Nietzsche coming in hard. The goaltender decides to play it over towards Letcher. Letcher slows it down, gets it to Campbell. Campbell bounces off of his stick and back over to the sideboard. Anaheim plays it behind their goaltender. And off of the official, that one had to hurt. Brown's come on a change. Campbell goes cross ice. Rybicki to Brown. Brown settles the puck down. Gets knocked into our defensive zone. Campbell goes behind Dabrowski. And he tries to play it off of the glass. It goes out of play. Kruger and Carter come out. Aldridge and Prisgintis at D. 1 minute to go in the second period. Puck goes to the side. Anaheim puts it on the board. It gets chipped forward for Carter. Carter carries in, goes wide. Still has the puck. Gets it up to Aldridge. Aldridge gets a lane. Shot in front, deflects off of an Anaheim player. Brown pushes the puck to the corner. Puts it back low for Carter. Carter puts the puck to the corner and then up to Aldridge. Aldridge back down low for Carter. Carter working on the boards. Brown comes over to help. Carter escapes, gets it up to Aldridge. Aldridge shot blocked by Anaheim. Carter still battling. Puck bounces to Prisgintis. Prisgintis shot goes high off of the glass over to Carter. Carter up to Aldridge. Aldridge tipped and hits off of Brown's shin pad. Puck to neutral ice. Aldridge gets it. Kruger's offsides, but that'll be the end of the second period. So after two, Anaheim with the lead 1-0. We're going to start the third period with Reynolds, Paulo, Pulauskas, Onak, and Miller. Face off, tied up under. Reynolds digs it out, tries to send it down, doesn't quite get a hold of it. Puck bounces to Paulo, to Pulauskas. Pulauskas avoids a check, puck to the corner, goes up the boards. Reynolds takes it away, over to Paulo. Paulo plays it up to Onak. Onak shot, kind of knuckles on net. Anaheim controls that faceoff. They go behind their own net. Pulauskas giving some pressure. They go cross ice. Paulo loses an edge. Good stick, Pulauskas. Paulo gets the loose puck to Pulauskas. Shot off of a blocker, and then knocked all the way down by Anaheim. That'll go for an icing. Nietzsche, Shalicki, and Letcher to take this draw with Onak and Miller. Puck pushed down low and into the corner. Letcher and Shalicki working. Shalicki gets it over to Nietzsche to Onak. Onak back to Miller. Shot goes high and bounces off of the glass. Shalicki gets a nice body contact on, and the puck knocks over the stick. He gets a shot off. It hits off of the pad. Anaheim going back the other way, gets past Miller. Shot into Dabrowski's stomach. We'll get a D change. Rybicki and Campbell will come out. Face-off goes below Nietzsche. Anaheim tries to jump it. Puck in front. Oh, doesn't quite get all of it. Dabrowski covers that. Puck went back to the corner. Campbell hard around for Letcher. Letcher chips forward for Shalicki. Shalicki races it down into the corner and up to Letcher. Letcher takes a hit, but the Anaheim player falls down, tries to get it up to Rybicki, goes a little wide. Campbell takes a bit of a hit. And then an odd play. Anaheim scores, looks like on a backhand. Not sure what happened with Campbell. Kind of took an awkward, looked like he got hit from behind and face planted. Anaheim picks the puck up and scores. Kashkowski, Bergeron, and Credidio take this face off. Puck over to Chris Gintis. Put into the zone and deflects out of play. Wait. Puck drop. Bergeron puts that puck in to the corner. Anaheim works it up. Presidio intercepts the pass. Porzingis tries to get it out of the zone and up to Presidio. Anaheim comes back in. Another backhand goes wide of Dabrowski. Porzingis to Kushkowski. Kushkowski avoids hit, gets over to Bergeron. Bergeron coming down, tries to get a puck on. It gets blocked. And Kushkowski keeps that puck in. Had Bergeron down low, but Anaheim stepped in front. Good stick for Gintis. Puck in front. Aldridge ties up his stick, otherwise they had a backdoor tap in. Dabrowski covers. Carter, Kruger, and Brown come out. Miller and Onak at D. Puck went back to Onak over to Brown. Brown for Carter. Hits Carter's stick and goes on net. Goaltender plays it back for their D. Carter, good job getting in the way. Anaheim rings it around the boards. Miller sends it back down into the corner and low for Carter. Carter takes a hit. Puck is low. Miller takes a spot back. Brown comes into the high slot. Onak gets in the way. Brown takes that puck, goes cross for Carter, hits off of Carter's stick and in. Anaheim tries to send it in the middle, and that will be an icing. $13:43 to go in the game. Reynolds, Pulauskas, and Paulo come out. Onak and Miller remain at D. Face off one over to Paulo, back down for Onak. Onak goes across the crease. It bounces off of the boards for Pulauskas. Pulauskas tried to drag the puck. Anaheim knocks it away. Paulo does a nice job to get his stick there and knock the puck away. Carries it back in. Anaheim knocks the puck away and moves quickly up with the sideboard. Centering pass misses. Reynolds takes it back, tries to chip ahead. Anaheim with a little touch and puts it on the sideboard and down low. Rubicki in the corner gets the puck loose, goes across the ice and chips forward for Nietzsche. Nietzsche throws the puck into the corner. Pulauskas comes over. Puck goes high. Nietzsche picks it up after it drops, gets it back to Rubicki. Rubicki walks the blue line, gets a shot, it goes wide. Over to Campbell. Campbell puts the puck back down low for Chalicki. Chalicki, Nietzsche, and Letcher out on offense now. Anaheim misses their stretch pass, and it goes for an ice. Nietzsche puts that face off to Letcher. Letcher to Rubicki, over to Campbell. Campbell sends it low. Chalicki gets there. Anaheim knocks it away. Anaheim carrying up the sideboard. Letcher comes over. Campbell takes the puck and throws it back to neutral ice. Anaheim sends that puck into the corner. Rubicki up to Letcher. Cross ice for Chalicki. Puck comes into the middle, almost to Nietzsche. As Gintis comes on a change, gets it to Letcher. Letcher to Chalicki. Puck gets knocked away from Chalicki. Anaheim sends it back in. Aldridge to Porzingis, back up for Chalicki, and chipped in. Letcher goes in on the forecheck. Kushkowski and Presidio come on as Chalicki and Nietzsche change. Letcher changes. Bergeron comes on. Anaheim through the middle of the neutral zone. Good push by Porzingis. Ties up. Puck goes low. I think Porzingis is going to get a hold. Yeah. Porzingis is going to go for 2 for holding. 11:20 to go in the game. We'll get a kill on for Reynolds, Paulo, Onak, and Miller. Onak holds that puck, tries to get it up the boards to the slot off of Dabrowski's blocker on that shot, and then cleared by Reynolds. Anaheim goaltender leaves it for their D to set up. Over to the right side and in. Touch pass by Reynolds to Paulo. Paulo clears. Minute 25 to go on the kill. Paulo changes. Krzyzkowski comes on. Anaheim slows down at the blue line and offsides. Bergeron comes on for Reynolds. Anaheim wins that faceoff back. Bergeron providing pressure. Onak gets the body on. Krzyzkowski's able to get that puck. He's being hooked. Over to Burge. Burge tried to get a shot off. It bounces off of his stick. Puck goes low for Anaheim behind the net. Get past Bergeron. In front, good stick by Dabrowski, knocks it away. Anaheim keeps the puck in. Go cross ice into the middle. Shot in front, looks like it deflected. Didn't go on Bergeron or on Dabrowski. Bergeron in the corner tries to clear that out. Anaheim keeps it in and goes cross ice back to the slot. Brings it down low and up. Finds the man at the point. Bergeron, no stick. Pass looked like to the side and missed by Anaheim. 15 seconds to go on the power play for Anaheim. Shot in front, blocked by Campbell. Over to the corner, Rybicki is there. Puck is cleared. Bergeron changes. Krzyzkowski changes. Brown, Carter, and Kruger come out as the penalties expired. Anaheim, little stutter step. Turns the puck over to Kruger. Carter carries in, tries to get past one. Puck goes to the corner. All the way around. Aldridge is going to get there and send it for Kruger. Aldridge shot in front, deflected, goes wide over to the near board. Carter into the corner. Kruger gets taken down. Carter gets a little bit of a hit there. Aldridge sets up, gets it over to Onak. Onak carries in. Shot. Bounces off of the pad. Onak gets it back, but it gets chipped away. Puck goes all the way down, and Aldridge comes in racing. Shot hits off of the pad of Dabrowski, and he covers. We'll get a change. Going to send out Kolauskis, Reynolds, and Paulo. Rybicki and Campbell at D. 8:28 to go in the game. Still 2-0 Anaheim. Paulo ties up. Puck comes loose to Campbell, over to Reynolds, and up the sideboard. Knocked away by Anaheim. They come through the neutral zone, get over to center ice, and put the puck behind Dabrowski. He leaves it for Campbell. Two guys on the forecheck for Anaheim, and Rybicki's able to get it away after good puck protection by Campbell. Reynolds carries in, puck over to the sideboard. Paulo gets taken down. Puck in the corner. Paulo and Reynolds trying to dig it out. Anaheim doing a good job of slowing us down. Kolauskis looked like tugged on a jersey there. Centering pass for Campbell, knocked away by Anaheim back into neutral ice. Paulo carrying forward, takes a shot, goes off of the blocker. Pulauskas to Aldridge. Aldridge back down for Pulauskas. Nietzsche and Chalicki come on. Reynolds and Paulo change. Good job by Priskintis to stop that. Puts a puck in front for Chalicki. Chalicki's shot is blocked. Fletcher comes on with Nietzsche. Aldridge. Puck in front. Still loose. Fletcher gets a shot. It's blocked in front. Over to Chalicki. Chalicki redirects. Another save. Anaheim goaltender has been on fire today. Multiple saves in a row on that shift. .658 to go, same personnel. Priskintis and Aldridge is deep. Nietzsche takes the faceoff. Aldridge shot into the glove of Anaheim. No rebound. Nietzsche does a good job protecting that puck. Comes loose to Letcher. Knocked away by Anaheim into the corner. Letcher harassing. Nietzsche comes in to help. Puck goes up to Priskintis and across for Chalicki into the corner. Chalicki gets pinned. Puck up the boards, bounces, and Nietzsche picks up the loose puck. Aldridge did a nice job of tying up. Nietzsche collides with Anaheim's player. Puck goes up to Chalicki, bounces off of the skate. Good job by Letcher to get in the lane. Gets that puck to Nietzsche. Nietzsche cross to Chalicki. Chalicki. Puck goes behind, and Anaheim clears. One-on-one with Miller. Miller gets the puck up to Chalicki. Chalicki goes across for Krzyzkowski. Krzyzkowski and Credidio come on a change. Letcher still with them. Chips it low and goes for a change. Bergeron comes on. Onak and Miller at D. 5:52 to go in the third. Anaheim cross-ice pass. They're offsides. Krzyzkowski in to take the face-off. Anaheim wins that back and into their zone. Bergeron coming hard on the forecheck. Puck goes behind the Anaheim goaltender and up the sideboard. Bergeron, good stick. Puck gets knocked in the opposite corner, chipped ahead for Anaheim, kept in by Onak. Onak sends it to the opposite board. Credidio is there. Credidio, quick shot in front, hits off of the post and over to the glass on the sideboard. Puck back into the corner. Centering pass for Onak gets put back into the corner by Anaheim. Puck comes up. Credidio sends it to Onak. It comes into neutral ice. Miller gets it across center ice and in. Credidio is there. Anaheim sends it back. Campbell's come in on a change. Bergeron tries to chip it forward. Anaheim gets it back and throws it down the ice. That'll be an icing, and we're going to get a change. Carter, Kruger, Brown come off the bench. Anaheim wins that back to the corner. They send it up the boards. Rybicki gets a stick in and a hit. Brown takes it up and off of the boards. Anaheim knocks it away and flips it towards neutral ice for Campbell. Carter regroups and takes it behind Dabrowski. Tries to get past two, puck in neutral ice. Kruger gets it out, to Brown. Brown to Rubicki. Rubicki sends it in. Puck around the boards and into the corner. Comes up the sideboard. Carter gets a hit and keeps the puck in. Brown comes over to help dig the puck out from the backboard. Knocks it to Carter. Carter in the corner gets pinned again. Brown picks up the loose puck. Gets it up to Campbell. Puck bounces off of Campbell's stick. He's got to send it off of the board. Anaheim is there. Brown lifts the stick. Campbell sends it to Rubicki. Rubicki to Carter. Carter chips it in. It hits off of the goaltender. We got to change. Polauskas and Reynolds come on. Puck bounces on Dabrowski. Aldridge to Brzgintis. Brzgintis across for Polauskas. Polauskas' shot is hits off of a skate, bounced off the backboard, and covered by the goaltender. 3:18 to go, still 2-0 Anaheim. All right, we're going to take a timeout. We got the sixth attacker on Dabrowski on the bench. Nietzsche, Letcher, Paulo, Reynolds, Brzgintis, and Onak. Face off one back. Brzgintis gets a shot and into the glove of the Anaheim goaltender. No rebound. Puck sent around by Anaheim into the sideboard. Nietzsche pins it. Paulo digs it out. Letcher gets a hit at it. Paulo to Letcher. Letcher tries to get it up to Onak. Anaheim gets a hold of it, sends it down the ice, and that'll be an icing. Face off one back by Anaheim. Letcher comes in and ties up his man. Paulo helps. Puck on the backboard over to Reynolds. Reynolds back up for Onak. Onak carries it down. Gives it to Reynolds. Reynolds tries to get it to Nietzsche in the middle. Goes under his legs. Brzgintis, big reach, brings that puck down. Anaheim got two. Just missed the net wide. Onak laid down to try to get a stick on it. Onak picks up the loose puck up to Brzgintis, bounced just past him. Letcher, good stick, gets in the way. Onak picks up. Jalicki comes on. Puck down low. Anaheim has it pinned. 2:02 to go. Campbell comes on for Onak. Puck loose. Anaheim gets a hold of it, sends it down the ice. That's going to go wide. And that'll be icing. Brown, Carter, Krishkowski, Chalicki, Pulauskas, and Campbell on the ice. Minute 45 to go. Krishkowski takes this drop, puts it over towards Brown. He gets tied up. Anaheim gets to it, but good job by Carter to get there. Krishkowski behind, pushes the puck to Chalicki. Chalicki to Campbell. Campbell's got a lane, puts it in front, hits off of Anaheim's skate. Pulauskas to Campbell. Campbell drags one and bounces off of an Anaheim player. Pulauskas working. Brown comes over to help, takes down his player. Campbell cross ice for Pulauskas. Pulauskas sends it in. Krishkowski and Brown coming in on the forecheck. Krishkowski gets there. Brown chips it over to Pulauskas. Pulauskas to Campbell. Campbell for Chalicki. Chalicki off the sideboard, puts it down low. Carter gets to it, chips it to Pulauskas. Pulauskas to Campbell. Campbell with the lane, shoots, it's in front. Bounces to the backboard. Carter back up to Campbell. Campbell again. Another shot. Bounces off. Chalicki gets the rebound, and it's 2-1. Chalicki sitting back door. Puck bounces off of pad. Great shot by Campbell. And it's 2-1. Letcher digs that puck out, sends it back. Chris Gintis up to Letcher. Letcher to Paulo. Paulo loses the puck in his feet. Onak gets a hit. Anaheim player comes and gets a punch in. I think we're going to send both. Let's see what happens. 25.8 seconds to go. Yep, 5-on-5. Both players are going in. So Onak with the rough. Oh, Onak's going to get a cross check. Anaheim gets a rough. Gintis and Campbell out on D. The officials having a discussion. All right, that's over. Paulo to come take the face-off. Letcher and Reynolds are out there. Campbell high off of the glass, sends it down. Anaheim gets to it, sends it back in. Gintis ties up. Letcher sends it deep. 15 seconds to go. Puck around for Reynolds. We pull the goalie again. Nietzsche comes on. Anaheim sends it down. It ices. 8 seconds to go. Got the sixth attacker on. Reynolds to take the face off. Tries to win it back. It gets tied up. 5 seconds. Oh, flips to Campbell. Campbell shot off of the pad. Letcher is there. Backhanded by Paulo. And time expires. Anaheim holds on 2-1. We've got one more game tomorrow at 8 a.m., 9 a.m. Central Time. We'll see you guys all tomorrow morning.